Now, coming to you live from atop the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's the one, the only, PUCL Podcast.
It's PUCL! PUCL! It's PUCL! PUCL! Pokemon Underground Champions League, oh yeah! PUCL! PUCL.
And welcome to the 519th episode of the PUCL Podcast. I am your host, Trainer Thatch, here today with my wonderful co-hosts. We've got Lord Jushiro.
Hey, y'all.
And we've also got the Fluffiest Whimsicott.
Buongiorno.
And we're here to bring you another exciting episode of the PUCL Podcast. PUCL, of course, standing for the Pokemon Underground Champions League, a nonsensical name we came up with in 2007. And we talk everything here Pokemon, from the video game to the trading card game to everything in between. I guess not Pokemon Masters, unless Shamu's on and there's news.
Yeah. Or Sigma, maybe.
Or Sigma. Yeah. Definitely not Cafe Remix. I don't think we talk about that, but
No.
We don't talk about it enough.
I think we talk about it enough.
We've mentioned its name, which is about as much as it deserves to be talked about.
Exactly. It's one of those things that was like a cash grab. Definitely trash grab. Or not trash grab, cash grab.
It's no Pokemon Puzzle League. That's for sure.
Freudian slip there.
Yeah, Freudian slip real bad. It's definitely not a Pokemon Puzzle League. Dude, if they just dropped another Pokemon Puzzle League, we just got new Pokemon Snap. Give me new Pokemon Puzzle League and give me like anime references all over the place again. I think that would be fantastic. I think it would work out really well. But yeah, it's been a hot minute. I haven't been on the show for a whole week. And I know, right? But I wanted to know what you guys have been up to lately. I know Jushiro has some. I don't want you to talk too much about it since it's going to relate to the topic today, but go ahead. Tell us what you're doing.
Yes. Since last time we were on the show, the guys here really scratched my itch, or tickled my itch for Pokemon, so I got back to Shield. I restarted the game, and right now, this morning before we record, I just got Calyrex, so it's the whole game's fresh in my mind.
Which horsey did you choose?
I choose the dark one.
The ghost one, you mean?
Yeah.
Same.
Sorry, the ghost one, yeah. So, for whatever reason, I thought it was dark for the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
To be fair, they're both good, so there's no wrong answer.
Right. My first playthrough, I got all the wrong versions. I got the water dark version of Urshifu, and the ice version of the horse, so I corrected those wrongs this time around.
I see.
That's good. That's good. What about you, Whimsicott? What have you been up to?
So I tried to play through Shield myself, actually. Then I essentially ended up playing Cat Nurse for the best part of the last month. Because, so my cats are extremely smart, and one of them got into a fight with, I presume, the neighborhood bully cat.
Oh no.
And got bitten, and the bite got infected, and so he had to be on antibiotics and house arrest for a week, which meant I had to keep an eye on him like almost 24/7, not getting a lot of sleep, being like anxious about the cat not being well. But control visit at the vet, he's fine, Sasha's good, I can finally rest. 5 days later, the other cat comes in.
Oh no.
With a scratch on his cheek.
Poor
and I'm like,
kitty.
Misha, are you okay? And he wasn't okay. So another course of antibiotics and another like week of being home 24/7 with the cat. And then I take him back to the vet, and the vet is like, he's like, yeah, okay, this part is fine, but the part where he literally scratched himself bloody because the other thing was bothering him, it's not healed yet. So have another 4 days of antibiotics, and please have him wear the cone of shame. So the cat is currently lying on the couch wearing the cone of shame, and I'm upstairs recording, but the last look he gave me was so offended. Like, the poor baby, I swear.
Oh,
I mean,
no.
It's his fault. He wasn't very smart, but yeah, so that's what I've been doing.
It's apparently been cat month because I haven't mentioned it, but I went through that last weekend where my cat ate plastic and he had an obstruction.
Oh no, poor baby.
Yeah,
Wow.
He was able to poop that obstruction, thank God. But yes, that was like my last weekend where I had to spend over $700 for a cat x-rays.
What?
So we can determine that the little loved one had in some plastic and now he had to poop it out, but he had been puking all day because he couldn't process anything, and it was hilariously awful.
Poor baby.
Yeah, he's
I'm
fine
so
now.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's
No,
fine.
I'm glad. I'm glad that he's fine, but
I'm more angry at him than anything, munching on plastic. He ate some of the bread plastic bags that was left on the counter. So yeah, he likes to munch on plastic for whatever reason.
Yeah, I've got one like that.
We both have very smart pets.
Yeah.
Cool. Good to know.
I've been following the leaks this week of BDSP. I don't want to go into them here because I don't want to spoil them for people.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been doing that this week. I don't know. I played a little Pokemon TCG here and there. And then I actually, on stream, we did Pokemon Platinum playthroughs. We started doing another Nuzlocke, which was a lot of fun.
Nice.
I need to sit down. I think I'm more excited for BDSP, honestly, as like a chance to get to play Diamond and Pearl again without having to Nuzlocke.
I see.
Honestly, because like I know which Pokemon are in which routes, and I know their percentages because I think I've Nuzlocked those games more than any others. Because Platinum is actually like notoriously difficult as a Nuzlocke.
Yeah.
So I've definitely tried to do that one several times, and it definitely is difficult. At least maybe it won't be so much if you play BDSP now, just because of the experience share now being always on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's weird. Like I legitimately had the thought maybe I should Nuzlocke BDSP when I get it, just so it's not too boring. That probably makes me a bad Pokemon fan, but
I don't know that I will find BDSP boring per se.
Yeah.
I think that it's going to be a refreshing experience, if anything. I don't know. I like, and you know what's wrong with my brain at this point? Like,
lots of things, but narrow it down for us.
But I'll narrow it down for you this time. You're so right on so many levels, thank you, Shiro. But like the thing that's wrong with my brain is just like if you give me like an empty Pokedex in a Pokemon game at this point, like I'm just gonna go fill it. I don't care if it's the same Pokemon I've caught already. I'm just gonna go like I need that check mark in that specific game file.
that's probably what I'm going to do, honestly, because I think at this point, for me to enjoy this particular game, I'm going to A, have to play through it with PUCL,
Yes.
and B, have to fill a national Pokedex that I never completed before.
I can completely understand that. Yeah, it's the thing that I find most interesting about BDSP as a whole is that I don't know. I think maybe the three of us would probably be seeing it in a completely different way than what they intend for us to see it as.
Yeah.
Because
What do you mean?
well, so if we look at like the gap between like original release and then the remake of the prior remakes, I don't think anything is as drastic as BDSP is. And so like, I mean, Leaf Green Fire Red came out probably like, I think it was 5 or 6 years after Red and Blue came out, which isn't that long.
I think it was more like, wasn't it like 8 to 11?
Well, okay. It depends on where you live, I think is the answer, because that was back in the time before international releases. So in the US, which is where the podcast is based, which is where I'm going to put all of my relevance instead of doing math for every region that ever
Excuse me,
existed.
I'm sitting right here. Hello.
Red and Blue came out in the United States in 1998. In 2004, Leaf Green and Fire Red released. It was like 6 years, probably a little less, because I think Red and Blue dropped in like September, and I think Leaf Green Fire Red showed up in May? Question mark?
We'll go with that.
Yeah, Thatch's memory is almost reliable. So that's something that I've been thinking about, is like, so that's 6 years. And then if you look at Gold and Silver to Heart Gold Soul Silver, that was about 9 years, 10 to 9 years. And then you look at Auras, and original release of Ruby and Sapphire, that's 2003 to 2014. And so you're looking at 11 years there. Mm-hmm. And then now you look at BDSP, which is 2021. And like, even if you live in the US and you got it later than in Japan, you're looking at a 14-year time difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is insane. And it's actually a little bit more than that, because in 2007, I believe it was like an April-ish release for Diamond and Pearl. And it's a November release for BDSP. So just like, that's enough time for somebody to go through puberty. Like I'm being honest. Like,
oh yeah,
I know.
So if you think about it like in that way, and the problem is we're old farts. Mm-hmm. And so we're thinking like, yeah, well, I've already kind of played this game, and so like if it's a really like the faithful remake, it's not going to be a good time. But it's just like, yeah, but maybe it's not really meant for us. Maybe it's meant for like the kid that's 15.
Right. Well, I'm of all the Poke group, I think I'm the most casual of the hosts. At least my perspective is a little bit different on Diamond and Pearl, mostly because for me, the generation that turned me off and almost made me quit Pokemon was the third generation, was Ruby Sapphire.
No, that's true for a lot of people, actually. Like, Gen 3 is like where we had a huge drop-off.
That game almost made me quit.
Yeah.
Right. And it was Diamond and Pearl who brought me back, kind of like the story of PUCL. It was Diamond and Pearl that actually brought me back into the game and got me hooked again to the point where I'm still playing now. So it does hold a special place. Now, the caveat is, unlike you guys, I haven't played it since back then. So,
oh, I mean, to be fair, if you wanted to buy it now, like if you want to buy that game used, I think the price is insane.
Yeah, they always are.
You're paying more than $60, which is the price of BDSP.
Yeah. So I don't know with what rose-colored lenses I'm going to play this game. I might play it and yes, this was definitely the game that brought me back and I love it. Or it might be like, wow, this was it. This is what did it for me.
See, that's funny because technically I've never played Diamond and Pearl. I played through Platinum once back in the day when it came out. So, in theory, I should feel the same way you do. But what's stopping me from being hyped for this game is that for the first time, I don't feel like I'm getting a new Pokemon game. Because all the remakes that came before this one added something.
Right.
Or at least were, current to their generation. This one is taking something away.
This one's a little weird.
It's not the next Pokemon game, Yeah.
Yeah. We'll definitely have more to say next week, but this one's weird. But I think we'll leave it on that note, and we're gonna kick it on over to the news, where we're gonna cue that epic music.
Live from the Lavender Town Radio Tower. This just in.
And welcome to the news. The news has a number of things to talk about today. First being that BDSP releases this Friday.
Woo!
And it's already leaked for those of you who are unaware.
Boo.
Yep.
If you want to look at the leaks, you can always go to the PUCL Discord. We have a spoilers chat you can go check. But of course, you can leave yourself unspoiled.
Yes. From a 14-year-old game.
Yeah. There's going to be a patch for...
No, actually, the patch was last Thursday.
Yeah, last Thursday. That's what I meant. November 11th.
Which is super funny.
There is a version 1.1 patch to make you forget that 1.0 ever existed. And it includes some communication features where you can only interact with one other person in the union room currently. But they will update it to include more multiplayer features in the future. And it's going to activate a few other things as well.
You would think, what would be the reason to have a union room if you can't have more than one person in it?
Union room gave me real bad flashbacks, to be fair, like when it first was shown. But yeah, the games have leaked. You can go check it out. It's somewhat interesting. Somewhat. I'm going to say somewhat.
Yeah. Some mythical Pokemon distributions have been announced. So in BDSP, if you have Sword or Shield save data on your Switch, you will receive a Jirachi.
That's cool.
Also in BDSP, if you have Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee save data, you can receive a Mew.
Yeah.
And in Pokemon Legends Arceus, if you have Sword and Shield save data on your Switch, you will receive a Shaming in its original form.
Mm-hmm.
Also, if you have Legends Arceus and you have Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee save data on your Switch, you will receive an exclusive outfit. That's, of course, themed to Pikachu and Eevee.
I honestly kind of like this. I was kind of like a little part of me wanted it to go a little bit further.
Always.
Because I really like the idea of like, oh, you played these other games on the same console.
Mm-hmm.
Here's some bonuses.
Yeah.
For being a Pokemon fan. And I think it's a really good way to handle things.
Yeah.
I love it.
That are super old mythicals, like Mew and Jirachi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Celebi's still unavailable in Gen 8, which is kind of bummer, but I was kind of hoping somebody would be like, yeah, if you have Pokemon Snap save data, you can get Celebi.
Oh, that would have been amazing, yeah.
That's what I was kind of hoping for.
That would have been fun.
So,
yeah, move on.
as an update for a game that I've downloaded yet, have played yet because of anxiety, Decidueye has been announced as the next playable character for Pokemon Unite and will be released on November 19.
I'm excited for this one. Like, I usually play Defenders, but I'm really excited to just like play Decidueye. He's one of my favorite starters.
Mine too.
He's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And Jushiro, you should play. Just come and hang out with us, and we'll play with you, and we won't even comment on you being bad.
Really?
We'll think it,
Okay.
but we won't tell you.
Okay. That's fine.
You guys have been sniping at each other all morning. Get some more coffee, guys.
This is literally a joke because we like each other.
This is our relationship. We love each other.
Yeah. In other news, Shiny Zamazenta is now available for US players. If you and it goes until November 19th. You get the codes at GameStop. If you are a patron of the PUCL Podcast, those should be up by the time this is going. The post should have been made on probably Sunday with the Shiny Zamazenta and the Shiny Zacian both running. So you guys can go pick those up. And if you are on the Discord, actually, I believe there's a Shiny Celebi or Dada Zarude. I forget which one.
Ooh, got a head there.
Definitely check those out.
Mm-hmm. Now, I really want to read this next piece of news verbatim as it was written down. That felt really weird to pronounce verbatim like that because that's a Latin word. It's not pronounced like that, but anyway. Now, for the download data we have all been waiting for. Pokemon Cafe Remix has exceeded 10 million downloads. How? And as a reward, 5,000 golden acorns will be given to you if you log in over the next week. That how was not my addition.
Well, if you're somebody who's like super into Cafe Remix, I could see this working out, okay? Think with me. You got your Switch, you download Cafe Remix. You got your phone, you download Cafe Remix. You got your iPad, you download Cafe Remix.
So you're telling me that about 3 million people all over the world have downloaded Pokemon Cafe Remix.
That's still a lot more people than I anticipated. That's about 3 million more people than I expected.
Yes.
Well, joke's on you, Whimsicott, because the most hyped update that has ever been is that a Mr. Mime Jr. has been added to the Pokemon Smile app since that game still gets updates, apparently.
Yeah, I didn't know it still got updates. I just thought they put it on. They're like, that's cool. And then we forgot about it. Well, speaking of an app that's in decline, Pokemon Go, we've got some stuff for them. November's Community Day is happening this upcoming weekend, and it's going to be on November 21st. It is going to be Shinx to celebrate Pokemon Diamond and Pearl remakes, obviously. But you can get shiny Shinx and Shinx candy. Yay! 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 Pokemon Go. It's too cold to play outside now. It snowed this morning.
Really?
Oh, God.
I was like, yeah. If it was pleasant though, because like it was like one of those like daybreak things, and like it's not like a lot of snow. It was like a November snow, so it was just like in places because the roads aren't cold enough to like gather it.
You say November's low, no, as if I get them in November. Whatever.
I have no idea how the rest of the world works. I've lived in the Midwest my entire life.
So, still tied into Pokemon Go, tying in the BDSP release, they have announced an event called the Pokemon Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl Celebration, and it's running from November 16th to November 21st. You're gonna find Turtwig, Chimchar, and Piplup wearing Lucas and Dawn's hats, which is kind of adorable. They can be shiny. The incubator distance will be reduced to 50%, and the super incubator distance will be reduced to 33%. And a collection challenge will run to catch all the hat starters And if you get them all, you will encounter a Frostlass, you will get 1,000 XP and 300 Stardust. That's kind of underwhelming.
Woo! Wow, super exciting. Good job, guys. This one's green. Don't kill yourself, Jushiro. Don't read the whole thing.
No worries. So, for those of you guys who are going to get DP but still want to take time off from that to play some more Go, they are going to be celebrating the release, as we have been discussing, by these two parts. Part number 1, Brilliant Diamond, from November 16th to the 18th. There's going to be a bunch of Pokemon available. Real quick, we'll have Tortwig, Chimchar, Piplup, a Seal, Murkrow, Poochyena, Aaron, Bidoof, Cricketa, Bunnery, Stunky, Cider, well, a bunch of them. They're going to be available in the wild. The starters, as Whimsicott had mentioned, will have the hats. They're also going to be, well, basically a lot of diamond Pokemon are going to be released from November 16th to the 18th. And then from the 18th to the 21st, they're going to be celebrating Shining Pearl with exactly the same thing. More Pokemon exclusives from that version will be available, including the starters with the hats from the trainers. So, if you guys are excited for both Go and Diamond and Pearl, all 4 of you, you're going to have a lot to be excited about.
Okay, well, 4 is probably like an understatement, but like Pokemon Go is still like popular. I'm just saying that the numbers are always smaller each year.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. But in PUCL news, we've got one thing. This is more of like a warning than I think actual news. But for those of you who are unfamiliar with what we do in the PUCL community during the holiday season, which is rapidly approaching us, I like to think that we're in it. Thatch was listening to Christmas music this morning, whether you like it or not.
Oh, you're one of them's. Nemesis is the same.
Don't try to trash on my happiness just because you can't be happy.
I might have been singing Oh Holy Night badly, I might add, around the house. So,
but we actually, what we usually do is in the month of December, we have a group of giveaways that we call the PUCL Advent Calendar. For those of you who are unfamiliar with what an Advent Calendar is, every day in December leading up to Christmas, we will you open a thing up, you usually get like a piece of chocolate, but we're going to be doing Pokemon giveaways. This year's going to be a little bit different than prior years. We're going to have a choice of 3 Pokemon pretty much every day, except for the first day. I think the first day, December 1st, is going to be like a 6 IV Ditto. We always do it. Makes you guys happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yay!
These are all going to be for Sword and Shield, unfortunately, because we can't guarantee that there's going to be like automation for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. But that's also the competitive game. So there you have it.
Yeah.
But every day, other than that, there's going to be a choice between 3 Pokemon. We're going to probably make it a Twitter poll or something like that. And what we're going to do is we'll give away the top one each day. Twitter, we'll ask for like some kind of Twitter metric to be hit. And if we hit that Twitter metric, we'll actually go ahead and give away 2 Pokemon the next day instead of just 1. If you're in the Patreon, I'm going to say pretty much at any level. I don't care what level. Well, $5 and above, we'll say. You can go ahead and get an extra Pokemon than the one that we would have been giving away. So it's possibly 3 a day if you're a patron, possible 2 a day if you're not a patron. So just something thrown out there.
Exciting.
Yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'm pretty excited to do it. I appreciate doing Advent Calendar. There's always a bunch of people who get a good kick out of it.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that we can help them out. I mean, we're talking something like you can get like up to 60-ish Pokemon if you're a patron.
Oof. I'm excited. I'm a patron.
Yes, you are. So on that note, though, we're going to kick it on over to PUCL's Poke Quiz. We're going to quiz your co-host on their insane Pokemon knowledge.
Oh, hi, and welcome to the Poke Quiz, the part of the show where we quiz our co-hosts on their insane Pokemon knowledge. I'm Mark, here to explain the rules. Our fabulous co-hosts will work as a team to answer 5 Pokemon-themed trivia questions that fans have submitted on the Discord server. Each question is worth 1 point, with Pokedex and multiple answer questions worth more, for a total of 7 points. The host can use a free hint at any time. If they get all the answers correct and do not use the hint, they can cash it in for an 8th point.
And welcome to PUCL's Poke Quiz. Thank you for that introduction. We're going to go ahead and jump right into these questions. We're going to go first with our first question is going to be from Trevster, the late night legend. Actually, well, you know what? No, you guys can get this. It's a true or false question. You have a 50-50 chance whether or not you know the content. Pokemon Unite question. Is Herdier in Pokemon Unite?
You monster.
At all. Like, we're talking like whether it's a spawn or like a playable character. It doesn't matter which, as long as it's like in Pokemon Unite.
I have played 0 seconds of that game. I do not like that game.
I have played 0 seconds, but like I said, not because I don't like it, just anxiety. I would say yes. That's a popular-ish Pokemon that I could see it pop up a lot in spin-offs, so I'm gonna go with that. What about you?
Yeah, sure. Why not? I mean, it's weird because it could be a trick question. Like maybe Stoutland is and Herdier isn't.
That's true.
But I don't know. I'm okay with going with your gut reaction.
Okay, well, let's see.
Yes, it is. It is in Pokemon Unite.
Cool.
The question is there because there's like a Lillipup spawn that like once you take it out, it never respawns. But if you actually leave it alone long enough, it will evolve into a Herdier inevitably.
Oh.
It will actually make it all the way to a Stoutland if you leave it alone the whole game.
Oh, that's awesome.
So I think for every Pokemon that's in the game, outside of just baby Pokemon, the entire evolutionary lines are in them. So like if just like if a Lillipup's there, everything's there. If Apom's there, there's technically an Ambipom.
I mean, I was like, you told me that Unite has spawns, which is something I've pretty much learned now.
Yes.
Okay.
But you guys are 1 for 1. You guys are off to a strong start with that 50-50 coin flip. All right. So this next one is going to be from Sly. Man, both these are actually hard. Do you want Sly or British Gent? And the question is more, do you want to do Pokemon categories or do you want to do manga?
I feel like we should go... So the manga questions from the British Gent tend to be very specific, and it's been a long while since I've read the manga, so maybe we're better off with the other one. What do you think, Jushiro?
I read the mangas, but I read all the way up to just Ruby Sapphire.
Same, because Diamond and Pearl sucks.
Yeah, so I have no idea on anything post that. So I think you're right. We better choose the category one.
All right. So this one from Sly asks, how many Pokemon categories are used to define both legendary Pokemon and a non-legendary Pokemon? Legendary in this case being a legendary, mythical, and an ultra beast.
So essentially, you're asking how many Pokemon categories are shared between legendaries and non-legendaries.
And I will give you a plus or minus 2 on this answer. I just need a number.
So,
Wow, that's a question.
You could just guess a number.
Okay.
As long as you're within 2, you get it.
Yeah, we could, but
In
we
theory,
should at
yes.
least try to get, around the ballpark of a number that makes sense. So the later legendaries, I feel, might have their own categories because, for example, this is really dumb, but you would think that Solgaleo and Lunala would share a category with Solrock and Lunatone. They do not, because they're the sun Pokemon and the moon Pokemon, but like spelled like in ye olde English with like an E at the end. It's so stupid, I think. But I think the early legendaries shared a few categories. Like, for example, I think Zapdos and Jolteon might share a category or something like that.
They're the, what were they? Wait, what was Jolteon's category? I already forgot. The Thunder Pokemon or something?
I think I'm pretty sure Zapdos shares it with either Jolteon or Electabuzz or something like that.
Yeah, probably, yeah.
I feel like Mewtwo is probably the psychic Pokemon, and there's other ones. So that's at least 2 that I can think of. And then if, I don't know, maybe... I want to say, let's see, Rayquaza might be one. And I don't think Dialga and Palkia are. Giratina probably for sure. This question includes mythicals, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I think it's probably between like 5 and 12. So we could answer something like, I don't know, 8 or
7,
10. And I think we would be in the ballpark.
Let's go with 8.
Yeah, let's go with 8.
8 is within the margin of error. The answer is actually 6.
There you go.
Okay.
So you got the +2 there. So the 6 that there are the continent Pokemon, who are Groudon and Torterra. The cruel Pokemon, which are Liepard and Galarian Articuno.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow, yeah.
That's a weird one.
The flame Pokemon, which are Charizard and Moltres.
Okay.
The jewel Pokemon, who are Carbink and Deontay.
Right.
Okay.
The poison fin Pokemon, who are Nidoran and Naganadel.
What the heck?
Wow.
And the volcano Pokemon, who are Typhlosion and Entei.
Okay, so none of the things I thought were right, but we got the question anyway. Cool.
That's a win.
Yeah, 2 for 2. Okay, next one's your Pokedex entry question.
I was so wrong, I was right.
This one's going to come to you from G. McP.
Oh, gosh.
Its fire red entry reads, "It travels by riding on winds. It cleverly uses its long tail to pluck nuts and berries, which it loves to eat." Who's that Pokemon?
Oh, Chimecho.
There you go. Chimecho.
Chimecho is correct. That's the answer. Yeah.
There you go.
It's Chimecho.
I knew this one.
The bonus entry was from Pokemon X, and it says it uses the sucker on its head to hang from a tree or from eaves. It can produce 7 different tones. That is not a lot of tones, Chimecho.
I mean, it has one body. I'm amazed it can produce more than 2.
Mm-hmm. All right. So you guys are 4 for 3 right now. So this next question is only worth 2 points. I am going to go ahead and, I'm only going to need 2 answers out of the possible 5 from you on this one from Sari.
Okay.
On Route 113 in the Hoenn region, you can go ahead and collect dust to create flutes.
Mm-hmm.
So we want to know what flutes are they and what do those flutes do?
Oh.
I only need 2 of the flutes.
Okay.
And I will give you, you will get 3 strikes and then you're out.
So I know what they are. I need to remember what they do.
Same.
Because there's the blue one, the black one, the white one, the yellow one, and the red one.
That's half the question, but yeah, we need that.
Okay. So I think...
Did any of them wake up swimming Pokemon by any chance?
Yes.
Okay, there you go. That's one.
I'm trying to remember which one it is. I think that one is either the white one or the black one.
For whatever reason, my brain tells me it's the black one, but I could be wrong.
Or it might be the yellow one. Wait. I think this one is going to be weird, but I think I just saw it in a YouTube video.
Okay.
I think the blue one increases your chances of meeting wild Pokemon if you play it.
Are you going to lock that in?
Do we have a strike?
You get 3 strikes.
Okay, let's lock that in.
That is incorrect. I will tell you that both those things are true about flutes. There is a blue one, and there is one that does increase the wild encounter rate, but it is not the blue one.
Okay, then it is the white one.
That is correct. That is one.
And the black one decreases your chance of encountering.
That's 2. So that's all the points you get for today.
And the yellow one wakes you, right?
No, the blue one wakes you up. The red one will snap a Pokemon out of infatuation.
Ooh, weird.
And the yellow one snaps a Pokemon out of confusion. But yeah, you got 2 points there, so you guys are 6 for 4. You haven't used the hint yet. And your next question's your base stat question. You can go for 8 today.
Let's do it.
All right. This next one's going to come from the Trivia Meister himself, Liger. And he wants to know, because Mark was supposed to be on this episode, I'm sure. What grass type has the highest HP of all grass types?
Is it Go-Goat?
I have no say in this. I thought maybe it would be something like Tangela's evolution, but I might be wrong.
No, Tangrowth doesn't have a lot of HP. It has a lot of special defense.
Oh, okay.
Gogot has a lot. Like 110, 115, something like that.
Okay.
Maybe even higher. And I know that Gogot was the answer to this question at some point. I don't think that has changed in Gen 8.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go with Gogot.
I don't know. Either we answer Gogot. Yeah. I might be wrong.
It's fine.
Or we use the hint and risk throwing away 2 points. I don't know.
If we answer correctly, we get 2 points. If we ask for the
pretty much.
clue, we get 1. And if we are wrong, we get 0.
Yes. Yes.
I mean, if you're so sure and that you indicate that at one point the answer was definitely Gogo and not much has changed, I would then go with that.
I'm about 80% sure.
That's more than I do. I barely know grass Pokemon.
I'm supposed to know about grass Pokemon, but I'm not sure. I don't know. Okay, let's answer Gogot. Who cares? This has been a weird trivia.
Gogot is correct.
Nicely done.
That is, Gogot has a base HP of 123.
Oh, wow.
The next highest is Amoonguss with 114, followed by Appleton with 110.
Okay.
And then Zarude with 105.
Weird.
Zarude's a weird Pokemon. So on that note, though, that gives you guys the perfect score of 8 points, and you didn't even know half the games we talked about today, so it worked out.
Exactly. It's very weird. We arrived at that by a very convoluted path.
Yep.
So that changes up the standings. In first place, we still have Seth Vilo with 20.
How dare he?
In second place, we have Sublime with 19. In third place, we have Whimsicott with 18. Tied for fourth place, we have R Sigma and Jushiro with 13. In sixth place, we have Mark with 10. In seventh place, we have P. McKee with 8. In eighth place, we have Linnea with 7. And in ninth place, we have Claude with 9. Everybody else has yet to get on the board. So on that note, we are going to go ahead and end it here. If you want more PUCL trivia, you can always tune in next week here at the PUCL Podcast. But until then, we're going to kick it on over to the topic. Hey, would you like a green Tauros badge? Well, you can have one. If you come over to our Patreon at patreon.com/PuCLPodcast, we are going to be giving them out once we hit $850. We're going to be giving those to every patron at the $10 plus tier because we love you guys. We'd love to see this project made. Of course, if we hit any other thresholds on the way there, such as $800 for the week-long giveaways to the community, that would also happen as well. So if you'd be interested in getting a green Tauros badge, feel free. Come on over. If you can't support the show, don't worry about it. You just listening is enough for us. So until then, though, guys, I'm Thatch, and I'll catch you guys on the flip-flop. And welcome to the topic. Our topic today is going to be a little bit different. With BDSP coming right around the corner, we wanted to talk about Sword and Shield.
Yeah.
And just do kind of a retrospective. It's been 2 years now.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been like a full year post DLC in a post Sword and Shield DLC world. And I kind of just want to take the moment to reflect on the good, a little bit of the bad. I mean, not Dexter or anything. There are other things that Sword and Shield did that I am miffed at, but I don't think changed the base Sword and Shield experience. Mostly timer.
Yeah.
I was going to scream timer at the top of my lungs, but thankfully you said it first.
Mostly timer. Timer's my biggest issue. I think with Sword and Shield more than anything else. Yeah, I don't know. Let's dig into it. I think there's a lot to say. I think Sword and Shield, I wouldn't rate them as my favorite Pokemon game, but I would rate them as a good video game.
I think that's a fair assessment.
I think everybody's allowed to have their favorite generation. And if people think Gen 8 is their favorite, I can't. One, it's an opinion. Right. How am I going to change that, right?
Coming from two people that like Generation 4, we're ones to talk.
Generation 4 is the best generation, by the way. Okay, I don't know what you're talking about.
I agree with you, but I don't know the rest of them.
The rest of them are just wrong, right?
Right.
I think every generation's different in its own way.
Right.
They do things differently. I don't know that Sword and Shield suffers much from what Sword and Shield is, more so just kind of the direction TPCI's been going. This is something that's been just kind of going for 8 years in my mind.
We shouldn't ignore that also expectations were out of control.
A little bit.
That it was going to be released. People were expecting this to be Breath of the Wild for Pokemon. What people are expecting now for our Legends Arceus, many people were. Yes. They thought that the wild area was gonna be this grand open world thing, and it's a small map, but expectations had a lot to do with that. People were just thinking that this was going to be something bigger than it was.
I mean, there's a lot of controversy up to release, and I don't really want to harp on it too much because it was controversy and some of it was nonsensical. I think it was a lot of people being angry about Dexit and other things, and they became hypercritical of the game. And I think if you just kind of like rewind the clock a little bit, maybe even all the way back to 2013, you can see that those things were like always there. It's just people were blinded.
Right, and goes to show you, because we knew about the Dexit because they announced it beforehand. They were honest with us, right? They
okay.
Didn't they announce not all the Pokemon were going to be available? They didn't?
You say that, and so if the words that you said are technically correct,
okay,
the way that they did it was not the most kosher way.
Okay.
Because they didn't, it wasn't like how they had like the Pokemon Direct recently for Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, where at the end they were just like, oh yeah, by the way, Sword and Shield are still going to be the main competitive games.
Right.
Yeah, or the very first trailer for Diamond and Pearl, where they told you this is going to be a faithful remake of Diamond and Pearl, and that is all I'm going to say on that.
Yeah, they were very straight with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Not so much with Sword and Shield. So they quote unquote announced it. But Jushiro, I'm going to ask you a question because we both like to watch like video game coverage and everything.
Yes.
Nintendo does treehouse events for video games during E3 that are, an hour, maybe half hour to like 2 hours long.
Yeah.
Right. Have you ever sat down and watched like a whole one?
Of course not.
Okay, so at the end of a treehouse, at the end of an E3 treehouse event, Junichi Masuda goes at the end of this was I think a 30-minute like one for Sword and Shield. He goes,
right.
By the way, you won't be able to bring all the Pokemon from home into Sword and Shield, and that was like it.
Okay.
So yeah, they were technically honest.
I'm gonna throw the rock and hide away. Bye-bye!
That's pretty much what happened. I'm gonna go say this in like the place where least amount of people are gonna hear it.
They were honest the same way the aliens in Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy were honest about the fact that they were about to race down Earth. They put an ad up on a board on Alpha Centauri. Do Earth people have space travel? No. Did they care? No.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't want to go too much into Dexit though, because like I know people get like upset about talking about it. But
sure,
I think Sword and Shield, other than that, like they did some good things. Like my favorite thing that Sword and Shield did, and I will harp on this like forever, is I really like the way they did the Pokemon League in Sword and Shield.
Yes.
I think they did it in a really cool way. The numbers are a nice touch, and like feeling like you're a competitor. And you go to this bigger and better like tournament and stuff. It felt more like the anime, but it also felt in such a way that the gym leaders made sense because they kind of competed to be in there because there was a talk of a minor league and stuff like that. I really enjoyed that lore building in terms of Pokemon. And I thought that was something that's kind of been missing because gym leaders have kind of always just been before that. And I think this is a really cool way to make them not just kind of be. And I kind of also enjoyed that it felt like there was like a quote unquote season, right?
Yeah.
I don't know. I thought it was pretty cool. That's my favorite part, I think.
Yeah, I enjoyed the league a lot. I also like that it feels like you can do it in a much more pleasant time frame than before the Elite Four plus the champion. It could take a while it feels that the league is something that it's more like, okay, I can do this in like 15 to 20 minutes real quick. And that is if you're actually taking your sweet time with it. If you're just blowing through it, you can do it so fast. So I really do enjoy the league. Another positive, I think that we've been...
Yeah, because you just played it. So yeah, I would love to hear, like literally like in the past week.
Right. No, I spent the whole month just playing Pokemon and enjoyed every second of it. And one of the things that I do enjoy about Sword and Shield is how less restricted it is with what you can get to clear the game. The Pokédex is so open, not entirely, but
I think the wild area helped with that a lot.
Since the moment you enter the wild area, your possibilities just amplified of what you could train. I had a lot of fun using Pokemon Bank because what I did was I brought all the fossil Pokemon, or at least my favorite ones, and I made a fossil team, a Jurassic Park team, and that's what I used to clear the game. It was a lot of fun. And yes, it's just no way of making Aurora's any type of competitive, not even to clear the game. It's awful.
Yes.
Oh my god.
I love it, but poor thing.
I think what you're saying even expands more with Isle of Armor now.
Yes.
Because if you were to play through the game, you can go to Isle of Armor very early, and you could even have more options.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'll still praise Isle of Armor.
Me too. It is my favorite of the DLCs. It's definitely amazing, and it really gives me hope of whatever Gen 9 ends up being, that they're gonna take the lessons from the DLCs and they're gonna make a kick-ass Generation 9, one would expect.
Well, honestly, even just looking at Crown Tundra and Isle of Armor, it really gives me hope for something like Legends Arceus. I to be fair, I don't have like the expectations for Legends Arceus that I think some people in the fan base do.
Yeah, no.
Where they think it's going to be this like epic open world adventure.
Yeah,
I'm thinking like, it's going to be cool Monster Hunter.
AKA setting themselves for disappointment, yes. They're going to be angry and they're going to be, this game sucks and it's going to be fine. It's just not what they expected.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a really interesting like Monster Hunter-esque take. I'm very interested to play it and just see how it goes. Because like I said, like I got that problem with my brain where like I just want to catch things.
Yeah, no,
Legends Arceus looks... It's better than the way Let's Go Pikachu and Eevee wanted you to just like catch things.
Yeah.
I guess I was going to say the way I envision Legends Arceus at this point is essentially a cross between Monster Hunter and Let's Go Pikachu.
I see it more as a cross, not Let's Go because it's not going to have the same catching mechanics. Hopefully, thank God. Hope
it doesn't.
No, well, yeah. You don't throw the ball like with
right.
Like you, like no
circle.
motion controls, please. Let's not. Honestly, they can't do motion controls anymore like they could before.
Yeah.
And Let's Go. And the answer is because of the Switch Lite.
The Switch Lite, yeah.
Yeah. The Switch Lite exists. It's actually a really big problem for a lot of things. Like if you look at so there's 2 Mario Party games on the Switch. The ones that just came out, which was Mario Party Superstars, and then Super Mario Party.
Sounds correct.
Which came out like in 2018 or something. 2018 Mario Party was awful. It had a bunch of motion control mini games, and they got rid of all the motion control mini games that existed in Mario Party history when they like built Superstars, which was like the remakes.
Yeah.
Because of the Switch Lite, because they want people with Switch Lites to not get excluded in that way.
Of course.
And I think Legends Arceus will be the same way, because they just came out with a new Switch Lite for Pokemon. And it's a cool one, and I just wish you could transfer save data a lot better between Switch systems.
Yeah.
That's like literally I keep looking at the Switch Lite and thinking it looks so pretty. It would fit so nicely in my hands. And then I think it's all new save files.
Yep.
You don't have my money. You don't have my money.
Yeah, it's literally just a Nintendo problem. Nintendo's bad at this. But I don't know. Back to Sword and Shield though. Let's recenter.
Yes. I have been trying to play through Shield as well. Because I've never finished Shield. I've just finished Sword. On one hand, yes, what Jushiro said is true. Like the league thing with the soccer theme is really cool. But playing through the second time, there's just something missing. And I don't think it's just, the first time I was playing through, I didn't just have the novelty of a new game with a new story I had never seen before. I was also playing through it like along with other Pokelonians in voice chat. I think it's also that unlike the previous games, the flavor that they chose is not as distinctive. It's like, okay, you can have Alola, which is very flavorful. Or even like X and Y, it's more bland than Alola, but it's not a bland flavor. Whereas the UK flavor is really cool the first time around because it's different from everything you've done before.
Right.
But the second time around, it's like, oh, cool, I'm going on vacation to London again. But it turns out that when you go on vacation to London and you can't go to museums, you can't go to theater productions, you can't go to stores, it's just a really big, dirty city. It's like, it's not like romping through the flower fields of France or like scaling a volcano with an observatory on top while alone executors like mingle in the distance. I don't know. It's like it feels bland, and the fact that you essentially are surrounded by relatively interesting people, but you only meet the same 2 people throughout the entire freaking game.
That is true.
It's so annoying.
I feel like there were a lot of things that weren't quite, maybe developed's the wrong word. Like, I wish they would have given us more moments with Marnie, because I think in Marnie's story is literally like 3 encounters total.
That's exactly what I was thinking. Like, why do I have to deal with Hop every 5 minutes?
Right.
When I could be talking to Marnie.
I would have loved the like more people being like Hop.
Yeah.
I would have liked more people being like Hop. Like, as annoyed as I was by like the numerous Hop battles, they actually did develop him.
Yeah, he has really good character development.
I will say that was probably the best way in any Pokemon game that another rival has been developed outside of maybe like the Gen 1 and Gen 2 rivals. Right. And even then, like, those aren't, like, quite tied.
Ooh, I was gonna say, and maybe this was discussed a long time ago, but I just realized it, and I don't know if it's something that other people have realized. I kind of feel in Sword and Shield that you are the rival instead of the protagonist, and that Hops is actually...
Dang, you are.
Yeah.
You are
the rival.
Right.
No, that's very true.
You get the Pokemon, the stronger version against against Hops. And then you become a rival again with Marnie. And you basically are the rival in Sword and Shield versus the hero. Although at the end you are the hero because you're still the player. But I just felt that I didn't feel like Hops was my rival. Although yes, it goes both ways. But well, you know what I mean. That I felt that I was the Gary and that Hops was the Ash in this game around.
I think they've been trying to go for that vibe for the last 3 generations, and this is the first time they got it right.
Yes. No, I think I will say in the past 3 generations, which I think the past 3 generations themselves have just like been this drastic turn in Pokemon overall.
Mm-hmm.
Just based on, if you look at like the patterns of how they've been releasing games and like the structures they've been releasing, it was really like Gen 6 seemed to be like this turning point in the franchise. And maybe it was because Black and White and Black and White 2 didn't do that well. And they're like, oh, we got to try something different. So they shoved Charizard down our throat. Tell me I'm wrong.
You are not wrong.
Yeah.
And in fact, I think the reasons X and Y is such a good game are exactly the ways it's different from Black and White. As much as I like Black and White.
Yeah. I think the biggest problem with just Black and White by themselves is that they tried, like, I think soft reboot is a bad move to make in Pokemon.
Terrible move. Yeah. I was looking at the Diamond and Pearl encounters because I was like, okay, I'm trying to hype myself up for Diamond and Pearl remakes. So I'm going to decide my team. And so I was going through the encounters in the Sinnoh routes. And I'm going like, okay, let's assume we only get like Diamond and Pearl encounters. So what do I get? And I got to like past the second gym, and I had found like 2 Pokemon I really wanted to use, including my starter. I was like, this is not fun.
I think the soft reboot was the problem for Black and White.
Because Black will always be put on a pedestal for its story, which was very good by the time.
No. Well, I mean, it's also really easy to look back on Pokemon games with rose-colored glasses.
Right.
Because you don't have the initial shock factor of new Pokemon. Yeah. And, I still say it, and it's definitely true, and I don't care what any other Pokemon fan says. This is like Thatch's hot take opinion, and you're not going to, unless there's a very good argument, and I don't know you can convince me otherwise, is that it does take some time for the Pokemon fan base to accept a new Pokemon design as a Pokemon.
Absolutely. True. It takes some time to accept a whole new game sometimes.
It really helps if you have new Pokemon with old Pokemon, so you can be like, oh yes, that new Pokemon is a Pokemon because it's hanging out with Pikachu.
That was one of the biggest problems that Gen 3 had when it came out. That it was also kind of like in its own little bubble where you were forced to only use the new Pokemon, mostly. The first time around, I mean, in Ruby Sapphire.
Yeah, I think in the Ruby Sapphire decks, it's 200 Pokemon. And I believe something on the order of 130 of them are all new. So you still have 70 old Pokemon. But okay, the old Pokemon they chose weren't the greatest. If you look at it, it was just Pikachu line, Golem line.
Weird.
Magikarp and Gyarados. I mean, it's like your standard fare Gen 1 and Gen 2. Meryl was there. It wasn't like some of the more interesting stuff like Hoppip, like we just forget that exists for reasons. And I don't know. It's just like some of the more interesting fare, or like it wasn't there. It was just like, here's the good stuff that we know is successful.
Right.
On top of that, that was kind of like the first Dexit too, right?
Yes.
Because you couldn't transfer Pokemon from Gens 1 and 2.
Which was the biggest deal.
It was a logistical nightmare. And to be fair, Pokemon is a logistical nightmare now.
Yeah.
Especially with like the way they've been doing regionals in Sword and Shield. I would say it's a logistical nightmare. It's not like I think the Alolan regionals were easy to handle because you could just be like, oh, it's just another form of the same Pokemon. But now you're getting to the point where it's just like, well, Galarian Meowth evolves into Berserker, but Alolan Meowth evolves into Alolan Persian, and regular Meowth evolves into regular Persian.
Yep.
Also, if we get a Gen 9 Meowth regional, I'm saying that's like intentional at this point. It's just the meme.
Yeah.
It's just the meme. We're just giving Meowth everything. Fire Meowth,
or if we get a Hisuian Meowth.
If we get Hisuian Meowth, I like they're doing it on purpose. They're just like that's just confirmation they're doing it on purpose.
I mean, we do have in real life hundreds of different breeds of cats, so I'm not upset about it at all.
By that same thing, you should have like 20,000 regional Grambles.
I don't think they all need to be Meowth, though. Okay,
True,
so
we
if you
do
look
have
at
other cats, but at
we
the
have
same
Glameow,
time,
we have Skitty.
But I was gonna say at the same time, you know, I'm not as mad at different forms for the same Pokemon as I would be to have 1,000 more new monkeys.
Okay, fair.
I'm not saying regional evolution and regional forms are bad.
Like the 3 monkeys from Black and White could have been just one Pokemon with different forms, and we could have saved the trouble.
I'm not trying to say regional forms are bad in any stretch of the imagination. It is one of the best mechanics that they've come up with.
And they should keep going.
After Mega Evolution, but they decided that one wasn't cool anymore for whatever reason.
Right.
Regional evolutions are a very, very, very good idea. The problem is that it creates a logistical nightmare for Nintendo going forward, right?
Yeah.
How do you acquire them?
Yeah, how do you acquire them in future games and stuff like that? Or do you just forget they exist? And if you forget they exist, I think that kind of kills the idea of Pokemon. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yep. I've always said, and that was my biggest gripe, was that if there's a Pokemon, it should be catchable. Whether or not it's available in the game or not, as long as it's in somewhere available, that's fine. Which was which was the tiny little thing that irked me about the Rotom Pokedex. It's like, I wish I could fight with Rotom Pokedex.
My biggest thing, I would love for, and this is maybe a good place to stop. I don't know. I don't want to, we're getting way off Sword and Shield. Other than it was like, it was a pivotal game in the franchise. And I mean, there are definitely good things, like we said.
The competitively, it has its gripes. Yeah, the time is a very legit thing.
I have zero complaints about DLC. There's nothing about that DLC I can be upset about.
Honestly, I could go another year with Sword and Shield if they give me another DLC. Easily.
I absolutely agree with you. Okay, so hear me out, Jushiro, okay?
Yes.
As much of a Dexit person as I am. Well, not so much anymore, but like, in a perfect world, Sword and Shield would like update and get all the Pokemon in it.
Yeah.
I've accepted that's probably not happening. In Thatch's like, this is all I want world, this is my bargaining stage of grief, I just want somebody in I want a kid who jumps into Pokemon in Gen 8 and like gets Pokemon home so he's ready to like transfer his Pokemon to Gen 9, right?
Yeah.
Or whichever ones he can take to Gen 9. I want that kid to be able to complete a national dex since home is the new software in Gen 8.
Right.
Like among the Gen 8 games. Even with BDSP, you can't do that.
Yeah.
I'm hoping there's a third DLC hiding, but this is very hopeful and probably not happening. Yeah. Where they dump in like the ones that are missing. Because I'm still really astonished that things like Greninja are going to be held out and stuff like I'm astonished starters in general are just missing.
Greninja surprises me. Yeah, that's one of my favorite starters in it. And
Greninja out of the, I did the math, I think it's 63 are missing. Out of the 63 that are missing, Greninja is probably the one that surprises me the most.
Yeah.
The one that hurts me the most is Crabrawler, but that's a different story.
Meteor Squad
is Crabrawler, but that's just Thatch. That's like the one thing I'd like to see Gen 8 wrap up on. Like, give me that olive branch of like, yeah, you can complete a national dex.
Yeah.
You know, in Pokemon Home without having to transfer from the 3DS. And then I'll be like, yeah, okay, I'll take that. I'll accept it.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's an inkling that like they might update SwSh just because of the Hisuian forms.
That's what I was going to say. With both Diamond Pearl coming out and also Arceus, neither of them, the new competitive base for Pokemon, it only leads me to think that either they're using Diamond and Pearl to complete the Pokedex and they're going to be reversible trade, as in you can trade from Diamond and Pearl.
Oh, you're not going to be able to trade. You're going to have to go to home.
Home? Yeah. I mean, still...
Yeah, I think they announced you can't trade with SwSh already, so...
Okay, well, at least home is an alternative. But you could bring those Pokemon into SwSh, that's what I'm hopeful. Or that when Arceus is close or a little bit after that, they do a third DLC,
that
which
would be so great, though, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would include the Pokemon from Legends Arceus. Plus, it doesn't even have to be that big. Just give me like a hub, a post-competitive hub where, kind of like the Battle Tower Island, like just something with all the necessary things I need to be competitive training in one place with the DLC.
So that already exists, kind of. That's in Isle of Armor.
Oh, yeah, that's where I've been using too.
Okay, so this is probably a good place to stop. If we like want SwSh to keep going.
Yeah.
And you want a third DLC. Third DLC. Is you somehow get like the 63 that are missing because like Bruxus doesn't fit anywhere in Legends Arceus.
Right.
But you've put in like the ones that are missing, like, hey, here's a Greninja, have fun.
Yeah.
But because like everyone's like, well, you can already catch the Legends in the max layer. I'm like, you know what? 1-ups Legends. Do you know what 1-ups Legends, Jushiro?
What?
In Pokemon? Megas. You just break the game. Just break the game. Just like it's got like 6 months left. Just like break the game.
Yeah, break it. Yeah, why not?
That's fair.
I 100% agree. Give me megas. Freaking give me megas. Give me more. I don't know. Give me triple battles again. I don't care. Just.
You release it in the spring, and that year, Worlds is the hottest mess ever. Everyone has a ton of fun, and then we go to Gen 9. It would be amazing.
Honestly, I want the DLC to drop like a month before like Worlds, or not even a month, like the smallest amount of time they could possibly have between Worlds and the DLC coming out, just so like nobody knows what's happening.
Fantastic. Yep.
That would be amazing.
It's just the biggest mess. I would love that so much.
It's not too far off that what could happen.
But I don't think Sword and Shield, like, I don't think they deserve to be called, like, terrible games.
No, they're not. Absolutely not.
No.
To me, they're one of the top ones, if not the second one.
I think of the last 3 generations, they're probably my least favorite, for sure. Mm-hmm. But honestly, like, time changes Pokemon games for me. And so I don't want to, like, I hate the idea of ranking Pokemon generations now.
Yeah.
Just because, depending on, like, the lens of where the franchise is going and what they're doing, my perceptions of games change. Like when Black and White came out, I thought they were just like bleh, right? And that, but now that I go, oh yeah, these 150 Pokemon that I can only catch here are exclusively like new Pokemon at the time. Those are Pokemon now, and I play it, and I'm like, yeah, this is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the truth is that you can't really rank Pokemon generations because depending on the criteria you use to rank them, it varies too much. Like, do you want to rate them by how much you enjoyed them the first time around? By how much you enjoy replaying them? By the competitive scene in that generation? By the Pokemon available? By the style of the game? The feel of the game?
You're so right,
too many ways.
You're so right. No, and I think it's completely valid for people to like every generation, including Gen 8. Like, I think you could, I think you could be like, Gen 8 is my favorite generation, and I'm like, yeah, I could see that.
That checks out. Yeah.
Wild Area was a really cool concept. I think original OG Wild Area is trash compared to Isle of Armor and Crown Tundra.
Right.
It was definitely a cool concept, and we definitely spent a lot of time raiding. Raids were one of my favorite things. Like,
yes, I hope they continue it in some way in Gen 9 without it having to include the giant Pokemon.
Yeah, let's please kill Dynamax, please. Like,
make raids in Gen 9 with Megas instead.
There we go. We just need Megas. Just bring back Megas. Bring back Mega Evolution.
Megas with the what's it called when they brought up more Pokemon into the fray from X and Y? I forgot. When you encounter a wild Pokemon and he's a boss and he has
a horde battle.
There we go. A horde battle. Mix instead of a giant one, do it Mega, make it horde with multiple Pokemon and make it a raid. That would be cool.
well, on that note, it's a good place to stop. We're going to go ahead and we're going to change gears over to the Pokemon of the episode. We'll catch you on the flip-flop.
Poke of the episode.
And welcome to our Pokemon of the episode. Our Pokemon of the episode this week is National Dex number 9, Blastoise, the Shellfish Pokemon.
Its Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire Pokedex entry states, Blastoise has water spouts that protrude from its shell. The water spouts are very accurate. They can shoot bullets of water with enough accuracy to strike empty cans from a distance of over 160 feet.
And the Mega Evolution can punch you and use Hydro Pump, right?
Yeah.
And then shoot its cannon. Yes!
That's always wanted. Too bad, unfortunately, Mega Blastoise is no longer is with us. But regular Blastoise, not too shabby. I mean, starters are always like good Pokemon.
They
like,
are. I had a misconception for the longest time that they weren't for whatever reason. That's been over for a while. This is not a recent realization. But yeah, for the longest time, it's like, oh, starters are always the ones that end up in the box and never been used. And then I realized, like, no, starters are usually among the best.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at some of the top Pokemon right now in VGC, I think you'll look at the ranks and you'll see Incineroar and Rillaboom almost on every team.
Yeah.
And even then, like, Venusaur has always been good too, which has been insane to me to think about. Which a lot of people don't realize is like of the Gen 1 starters, Venusaur has consistently been the best.
Yes.
I think the only time it got topped was by Charizard in Gen 6 and 7, and that was only because they gave it 2 Mega
I was going to say,
if they would have only given it 1, Venusaur still would have won.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't give you the advantage from Team Preview of not knowing which Charizard.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I mean, you could usually tell, but you needed a bit of expertise in order to be able to tell.
Yeah. All right. So Blastoise has a base HP of 79, attack of 83, defense of 100, a special attack of 85, special defense of 105, not 150, 105, and a speed of 78. None of those are like too remarkable outside of the defense stats, which are kind of nice. Like you don't see too many Pokemon that have like over 100 in both.
Right.
Like that.
Yeah.
So it's a nice like all around defensive Pokemon. The team we have this week is actually a VGC team. He is all 3 Kanto starters make an appearance. He is the only one that is not made G-Max. Because you're never going to Dynamax or Blastoise on this team. There's obvious members that you go, yeah, we're going to do this. And Blastoise is kind of just there for some stupid support that works really well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this team actually hit the number 1 rank on the Smogon VGC ladder. So we're definitely going to go ahead and just jump into it. The Blastoise is holding leftovers. He's got Rain Dish just in case there's rain from Kyogre because you can't bring one.
And what else were you going to use? It's the normal.
Torrent.
Are they
Torrent's
good?
not bad.
They're not bad?
It's not.
I always thought that the regular abilities for starters suck and that you would always want the hidden abilities.
They're okay because if you get knocked down to enough damage, you can do more damage.
Okay.
But I mean, I guess on this Blastoise, you don't really need it. And even then, you've got Kyogre running around in this meta. So
yeah.
It's not too bad. I mean, this is kind of like your anti-Kyogre machine anyway.
Yeah, because this is like mostly a sun team.
Yeah, this is a sun team.
But
so you
this
need
is like your rain option.
Yeah,
if you think you're gonna lose the weather war, you bring the Blastoise.
Gotcha.
Yep. If you're gonna lose, you bring Blastoise. I have no idea what any of these spreads do or why they are the way they are, so bear with me. A 236 HP, 156 defense, 4 special defense, and 108 speed with a bold nature. So just you can't hurt him real bad. He's got Yawn to force switches and maybe even put a Pokemon to sleep. That's actually really good for anti-Dynamax. And then you can, of course, go ahead and he's got Iron Defense and Body Press as his other ways to attack. And Protect. So he's doing all right.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab another one randomly, though. Another generic VGC mon is Porygon 2 with Eviolite. And he's got Download with 244 HP, 124 defense, 44 special attack, 84 special defense, and 12 speed for definitely some reasons. This has a modest nature, because he's kind of just there to clean up things that the rest of the team can't, and gives you kind of a trick room / anti-trick room option. He's got Ice Beam, Shadow Ball, Trick Room, and Recover to cover all that. If you notice anything about the speed stats on this team, they're not all magnificent, but that's because it's depending on like being middle of the road for both Sun and for Trick Room.
Yeah. Well, something that is definitely spec'd for Sun is this Gmax Charizard. It's holding safety goggles because if you're in the sun and there's a Venusaur on the other side of the field, what the Venusaur likes to do is lip powder you, because with chlorophyll it's going to be faster than you. This way, it can't. It has its hidden ability of solar power, so in the sun it's an absolute beast. It has 84 HP EVs, 4 in defense, 164 special attack, 4 special defense, and 252 speed with a teaming nature. It has Protect, because this was VGC, Ancient Power, Heatwave, and Air Slash. And you're gonna think Ancient Power, that is mostly for opposing Charizard. Yeah. There's a lot of Charizards running around in the VGC right now.
Absolutely.
It's insane. Heatwave obviously gives you like a Gmax Charizard thingy. I don't remember the name, even though I'm
Wildfire. Gmax Wildfire.
Thank
but
you.
More
Wildfire.
importantly, even when you're a baby, you can get a dual hit move.
Exactly. And then Air Slash is going to allow you to use
Max Airstream.
Max Airstream. Thank you. Words are hard.
Tell me about it.
So you can raise your speed and that of your partner. And the other Pokemon that is having a really good time in Sun teams, Whimsicott, do you suddenly know something about VGC? Yes, I do, because an Italian won the global exhibition. Yet another thing that Italy has brought home this year. So I've been trying out his team. It's really cool. And he's also running a Charizard and a Venusaur in the Sun, although they have different the Charizard is different. The Venusaur is also different because it has a different item. Anyway, this Gmax Venusaur is holding a Life Orb. It has Chlorophyll, but it's not max speed because with Chlorophyll, it knows what's enough for it. So it has a Modus Nature, 108 HP, 212 defense, 84 special attack, 4 special defense, and 100 speed. And its attacks are Sleep Powder, Earth Power, Leaf Storm, and Weather Ball. Mm-hmm. And Weather Ball is really funny here because so it turns into a different attack depending on the weather, but the Dynamax move also changes to match Weather Ball's type. So if you're selecting it from the menu, it will tell you Max Strike, but you're actually going to use a fire or water or rock move,
or ice,
which is really interesting.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Well, since we're on the topic of monsters, we do have Groudon with, get this, a citrus berry as the item you're going to be attaching to it. Ability, obviously, Drought to bring that solar power into play, that solar weather.
You need it. You need it for 2 of these guys.
Yeah, so. It's the basic, it's the basic premise of this team. And you have the EV spreads of 252 HP, 76 in attack, 44 in defense, 4 in special defense, and 132 in speed, with the obviously adamant nature to maximize that physical prowess that Groudon has, and the 4 attacks of Precipitous Blades, Rock Slide, Protect, because again, this is VGC, and Swords Dance to set up. And then we have the little runt of the family, Porygon 2.
I mean, he's just like, no, we already did Porygon.
Oh, sorry.
So we gotta do Thunders.
Thunders. So not the runt.
Not such a little runt.
Not the runt. But we do have Thunders with Assault Vest, and the ability Defiant. Its EV spreads are 148 for attack, 188 for special defense, and 172 for speed, with a Jolly nature to maximize speed, with its 4 attacks of Crunch, Wall Charge, Brick Break, and Fly. Unfortunately, I do not know much about these genies. I missed out that generation with them, so
This one is a cheeky one. This one is a really cheeky one because if you see this team in team preview and you see the Blastoise and the Porygon, you're going to assume this is a way to have a sun mode and a rain mode. And you're going to assume this is a prankster Thundurus with Rain Dance. And it's not. It's Defiant. You're going to bring in an Intimidate Pokemon and this Thundurus is going to destroy your life.
Okay.
Yes. It's very cheeky.
Yes.
This team looks really fun, though. I want to try this one, too. I really need to start doing them on stream at some point when I just mess around. So I'm definitely going to go ahead and try this one out later today, and we'll see how it goes. But yeah, if you want to play it yourself, it'll be on the Discord server. I'd say we're giving out Shiny Blastoise, but we're doing Shiny Zacian and Zamazenta this week.
Yay!
On Patreon instead. So go on over for that. Until then, though, we are going to kick it on over to the mailbag.
It's mail time! Send in your emails! Mail!
And welcome to the mailbag. The mailbag is the part of the show where you send us emails at puclpodcast@gmail.com and we read some of them on the show. Last week we asked you what Hisuian Pokemon you would like to see in Legends Arceus that we don't have so far. And you guys did not disappoint. We got a lot of emails for that. But we are only going to read about 3 of them today. And of those 3, if one of them sparks good discussion, well, that one is going to win the Green Tauros badge, brought to you by the fictional energy drink, Green Tauros, that gives you hooves. The energy drink that gives you hooves. Oh.
Hooves.
I've only been saying that for 15 years, and
you better not stop.
I almost messed that up.
Thatch, come on. It's only been 14.
That makes it better, yes. All right. So next up, our first email today is going to be from The Salty Stew.
I've got that one. Hello, PUCL hosts. This is The Salty Stew writing in for the first time. Welcome. I have been listening to the show for about 6 months now and just want to thank you for the wonderful job you all do. Aww, thank you.
Well, thank you.
The show is always the best part of my Mondays. Aww, that's what I will love to hear.
To be fair, Mondays don't make the bar very high.
I mean, yes.
We'd probably be like a mediocre Friday content, okay?
Yeah, that's fair. That's very fair, honestly. And that is why we release on Monday.
Yeah.
Well, actually, kind of. Anyway, to answer this week's question, I have a lot of Pokemon I believe should get Hisuian forms, but I will keep it to 3. We appreciate that. The first of those being Shuckle. I would love to see a Shuckle whose design has no shell that is more offensive. Ooh.
Oh.
It would no longer have a shell that traps it to being only a defensive Pokemon. Then Shuckle could also get the evolution it so desperately deserves.
Where it does evolve into something with a shell. No, that's just Thatch trying to make a bad joke that didn't land. It's okay.
This is really interesting. Like, I'm trying to picture it because, like, inside the shell, Shuckle is like a little noodle boy.
Yeah.
It's like, so cute.
I don't know how the noodles connect, and I don't want to know.
Make it, but you gotta have like a sticky ability where it's like a sticky coat or something, because he is filled with juice. So he would be a noodle slimy thing.
You know what? I saw, I don't know if I could call it a comic, but you know that dude that does like the alien comics?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Strange
Yeah,
Planet?
of course, yeah.
Okay, his brother drew a picture, and it's like 20 animals that are totally not octopi. It's like little octopi like making the shapes of other animals, and that's what I imagine is inside a Shuckle.
Just an octopi.
It's amazing. Okay. So the second Pokemon that I believe deserves a Hisuian form would be Jinx. While most people think Jinx is a terrible and disturbing Pokemon, I think Jinx is great.
I think Jinx is great too.
I think the typing could change to fire water and then explain the backstory of how all the hatred Jinx has received took away the fire, which then froze the water and made her crazy to make Jinx the ice psychic type she is now. This is a very complicated backstory. Wow.
This is like a D&D character's backstory.
Yeah.
Yes. this could also lead to a much-needed Jinx evolution that she deserves like her other Gen 1 counterparts. On one hand, they're not touching Jinx again.
Yeah, that has bad rap.
Yeah, on the other hand, it's like, well, they could fix Jinx, but then it would be like saying that Jinx needs fixing, which would be terrible in a way. So
I think the regional Jinx that we deserved was an Alolan Jinx.
With as a hula girl.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
as a hula girl.
I mean, they didn't give us like an Alolan Blossom.
Yeah, no, that Blossom didn't even make it into like OG Sun and Moon.
It was super weird.
That was the thing that blew my mind. I'm like, Blossom's not here.
Yeah.
It's kind of like in the same way where they're just like, well, we chose the certain Pokemon that needed to be in Galar, and they're just like, yeah, so we introduced Boltund, but also you can catch Manectric.
Have you ever been to the UK? Like, there's a reason there's Wooloo everywhere in that game, because there's sheep everywhere in the UK, and Mareep is not in Galar.
Right?
Oh my god, that's right, yeah.
There aren't any goats like Go-Goat either.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's fine. They chose the Pokemon that fit the region the best.
Right.
In theory, I like the idea of a different Jinx, but in practice, I don't think they're going to touch
Jinx.
No, they won't. They won't bring attention to it.
Okay, the last Pokemon I want to talk about getting a Hisuian form is the Apom line. Apom could have its tail radiate some kind of elemental type. What did we just talk about, Jushiro, about the elemental monkeys?
Okay, but Apom's cool, okay?
For certain definitions of cool, it definitely scarred me for life when I watched it.
Ambipom is really good at ping pong, okay?
See, I hate that because it implies that Apom is allowed to hold 2 rackets, which is not fair.
As far as monkeys go, Apom is, and its evolution is the least offensive ones for me.
I think the least offensive one is Infernape.
Also, yes, that's also in the least offensive ones.
All the others I pretty much hate.
Yeah.
Anyway, then when it evolves into Ambipom and it gains another tail, it could gain a second elemental typing. This reminds me so much. You know that there's a team that does like custom forms for Pokemon and PokeTubers use them?
Yes.
There's this custom form Dodrio that has literally like one head is on fire and another head is encased in a block of ice.
Oh my god, yes. And the other one is shocked, has like the hair standing up.
The third one is like in the middle and is regretting ever being born. Anyway, although this is asking too much, I would like to see Ambipoms that have different typings, and whichever elemental typing you get would be random.
No.
That way you could have an Ambipom that is water electric and possibly another that is rock poison. That kind of does a play on the evolutions, but with Apom.
No, thank you.
No, I'll stop there. We have the elemental
Pokemon's
monkeys
complicated
already.
enough.
Yeah.
Could you imagine being in team preview and just seeing Ambipom and being like, well, that could be anything?
Right.
Yeah.
We already have that with Sil Valley, and it's already bad enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, it's like, it's a cool concept that in a very small and limited way could be interesting.
Right.
But at the same time, it's a bit complicated. And also, I would like it to be on a different Pokemon than Apom. Because I don't like Apom. But that's just me. Anyway, thank you for taking the time to read this email. Have a great week. The Salty Stew. Have a great weekend as well. This was a nice email.
All right. The next one is going to be from Hiker Craig. This is you, Jushiro.
Yes, indeed. It says, hi, Thatch and PUCL crew. I've been listening since summer of 2016, but this is only my second ever email for the mailbag. My first being about modding Game Boys, but that wasn't exactly a mailbag topic at the time. I felt compelled to write this one this week, though, as I had a couple of thoughts to add. First, I firmly believe that BDSP was supposed to be released in 2020. For example, look at all the decorations from Worlds 2019, giant fossilized Bastodon on stage, Piplup and Hippopotas, and the logos could be coincidental, but my bet is that the World's decorations were a subtle marketing push, seen unconfirmed, until DBSP was pushed back due to COVID, and Legends still had to fill in somewhere between whatever 2022 game is announced, hence the January slot. just my theory. Regardless, I'm excited for both BDSP and Legends of Arceus. That's a good theory to be. I wouldn't even.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't honestly, I don't know that BDSP was supposed to come out in 2020. I don't know that it was supposed to come out in like the normal November time slot. My money is that Legends Arceus was supposed to come out Christmas 2021, and that BDSP was supposed to be some like weird summer game that we got. That's my theory.
Yeah, it might got delayed in its announcement. Also, but yes, what Heike Craig says is something that many companies went through, where they had to push back their plans because of COVID. So it's in the realm of pure reality. We just don't know if that's the case or not. Continuing on. In response to the prompt, I think that Donphan deserves some love, like a regional evolution or something. I may be a bit biased though, as Donphan is my favorite. I feel like there have been a lot of Gen 5 love with the regionals, but not much in Gen 2, outside of Rydeer, which is the new one coming for Legend of Arceus. Right? I'm right about that, right?
Weirdeer. It's called Weirdeer.
Weirdeer. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Which, don't get me wrong, Weirdeer has me hyped, but the regional evolution of Donphan, for Donphan would be pretty cool, and one for Heracross. Both Pokemon, I do believe, this is Jushiro speaking now, that they do need some regionals.
I want more Donphan love. Okay.
Yeah, me too. Me too. And see, if we're talking about Heracross, Pinsir needs some love too. He lost his Mega Evolution, so he needs something.
I don't like Pinsir, so I'm cool with it, like keeping the Mega Evolution and then the Mega returning someday.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
Heracross also got a Mega, which made it look worse.
Yeah.
So a regional Heracross could be cool.
They really could. I had some cool fake Donphan evolutions before the SwSh DLC last year, and it was always left me wanting a real one. One last thought before I go. Thatch was talking about Dayton at the beginning of the last episode. I actually just moved to Dayton area and thought we could ask advice on what would be a good place to go in the area in general and for Pokemon. I'm a casual video game player, but have been getting back to the TCG, good boy, and wanted to start competing next year. I just haven't been able to find a local community to join. Any advice would be greatly appreciated. Thatch?
There's no local community. No, well, so like there's like some, so like when I moved here back to Dayton from Columbus, I was gonna go like hang out and play, but they just had a vibe I didn't like. I don't, also post COVID, I have no idea what it's like.
Right. Things have
I do know the video game scene is like non-existent in Dayton. There was a guy that I met that was trying to spin it up and he was asking me to help him. And I was just like, I don't have time. So I didn't help him spin it up. Yeah. And he never got it off the ground either. Most of the time, like what a Dayton player goes and does is like goes to Columbus or goes to Cincinnati. Some of them will go to Indianapolis for that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's semi unfortunate, but at the same time, like Ohio has a lot of good players for VGC too.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nuts. I don't think they're doing like Players Cups though, or not Players Cups. I forget what they're called. Like the little challenges.
I don't know what they're
Premier
called
challenges. That's what they're called. They're not doing those right now, I don't think, anyway, with COVID. But maybe they're coming back like when regionals come back next year.
Yeah, there's a whole reboot that needs to happen with the community to start again.
If you really want to do that, though, you can talk to me and we'll see if we can get together. If you're a Puckalonian, we can do it.
Yeah. Thanks for all you guys do. Best, Hiker Craig.
All right, so let's get our last email today. It's going to be from Nick, I guess, because he didn't sign it. Oh, hi, Mark, Thatch, and Whimsicott. Mark is not here. We have Jushiro. Mark is actually going to go battle some floods. He's going to go battle some floods, so he's not here right now. I had to answer this one since the prospect of regional variants has so much potential. It wouldn't shock me if the mailbag overflows today. It did a little bit. Here's a short list to feel free to judge my bad ideas. Porygon. Doesn't make sense in an ancient time, so I could imagine Porygon as a wooden toy.
Oh my god, that would be amazing.
Yeah. They could replace the hard polygon edges with chisel marks and make it grass type, dual type maybe, and give it an entry about inspiring the digital version. I think
that's so cute.
Great. I love it.
I personally think that's what they're going to do with Voltorb. I think we'll get like Hisuian Voltorb in the new Pokeball.
Oh, yeah.
I think that might happen.
An origami Porygon.
Ooh, that could be cool too.
That would be.
We already have Kartana.
Yeah, but that's a
I just don't. I don't like it only because like if you get it like a Hisuian Porygon, like you're gonna assume it evolves, and then like I don't know, it's just got such a long evolution stage that makes it an issue.
Unless they do like Hisuian Porygon that just doesn't evolve and it's back to the good old Porygon alone. You would think if you're made of wood, you wouldn't get upgrades. So.
True.
Tropius is another one. Now there is now an extinct species of banana that inspired banana-flavored candy.
Oh yeah.
I could imagine this one being monotype or ground grass.
Wait, there's a giant story in that sentence.
What?
Banana-flavored candy is inspired by a now extinct species of banana.
That is true.
I want to know more about
Yeah,
this.
I need to know more about that as well.
Yeah, I did. I actually know about that. It was a banana. It was sweet banana that was very famous, and it's supposedly it tastes just like the candy whenever you buy a candy flavored banana candy flavor. It's the taste of that now extinct. Now, the problem with bananas and its family, like plantains, is that they're very susceptible to diseases. So that crop of banana suffered a huge disease, like us with COVID, an outbreak. And it completely killed off that banana in its entirety, and it's no longer available.
When did this happen?
Years ago. I don't know how long ago, but it's been quite a while. More than 50 years, I believe. At the very least, more than that.
But still, like in the 20th century.
Yeah, somewhere around the early 20th century. I might be completely wrong, guys. Fact check me on that, please. Go and check.
So
but it is, yes. No, the banana, that's why candy banana doesn't taste like what you would expect the banana to taste because the taste it's based on is extinct.
That's true. Mm-hmm. I thought it was just... we couldn't get the banana right and it just tastes like
Nope. Yep. It's an extinct banana. It's the flavor of a ghost banana.
Wow. This is like the fun and happy version of that like comic XKCD comic about the flower that mimics an extinct bee.
Oh,
look it up. It's really poetic, but kind of sad.
All right, back to Tropius though.
Sorry.
I could imagine this one being monotype or ground grass, suggesting that it didn't learn to fly and died off somehow. Maybe make it look like candy?
That's so cute!
Delibird, make a Krampus Delibird. Speaks for itself. Dark flying Delibird.
Coal that gives coal. Its ability is something with coal. That would be great too.
Hope this wasn't too long. I'll forgive if I don't make the mailbag. Have an excellent weekend.
You too.
Thank you for that, Nick.
I think he didn't just make the mailbag. I think he got the Gluteus back.
Gave us sidetrack.
This one and Salty Stew did a good job too.
Yep.
They both did.
That's true.
Both of them get it.
There we go.
Nick and Salty Stew, you get that Green Tauros badge. Next week, if you want to email us, I don't even know what to ask you. Did you like Sword and Shield?
What are your expectations? Do you have any good expectations on Diamond and Pearl?
Yeah.
DBS?
Yeah, what do you expect from Diamond and Pearl?
Depending on when they write in, they're
these are
either gonna have the game or not.
Though. What do they expect?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. Good enough.
If it doesn't work, Shamu's the one that suggested it, not me.
Shamu also wants to know if anybody has questions. He'll try to answer them next week on the show, too.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So on that note, though, if you want to, email us, puclpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to keep up with us throughout the week, best way to do it is hang out with us on Discord. Just come on over. Discord, which is just pucldiscord.com. You just walk right on in, hang out with us. We party. We do giveaways. We got Christmas coming up, Advent calendar coming up, so you can participate over there. That's where all the codes will be. Otherwise, if you want to follow us on social media over at Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, or Tumblr, all of those links are in our show notes. You can go ahead and watch us over at YouTube, youtube.com/PuclPodcast. If you want to watch us live on Twitch at twitch.tv/PuclPodcast, I try to stream on Tuesdays. I know this upcoming week we're going to have Tuesday for me. Shamu's going to stream Thursday. I think I'm going to stream Friday, and it's going to be a crazy day. Crazy week of streams, so make sure you're
Pokemon release weekend. The game might disappoint, but the weekend won't.
Exactly.
That is such a fair statement.
I'm looking for the blowback from the community on this one. And then, of course,
I'm just gonna sit in the PUCL Discord server
Yeah.
playing along with other people who are enjoying the
It's
game.
gonna be a good time.
And I'm gonna ignore all of the noise from the outside.
Yep.
It's gonna be
That's
great.
how you enjoy it.
And then on that note, if you want to help support the show, you can always go over to our Patreon at patreon.com/PuclPodcast. Get Pokemon giveaways like the Shiny Zacian and Zamzenta, and whatever else we decide to give away for Pokemon of the episodes. So be sure to check those things out. Other than that, I guess I have been Trainer Thatch.
Some say I'm Lord Jushiro.
And I think everyone is pretty sure I'm the fluffiest Whimsicott, but we'll see.
Who knows? And here in the Lavender Town Radio Tower, it's closing time.
Closing time in Lavender Town.